Okay, great. Welcome, everyone. This is my first Banter Blitz. Actually, I've already had some sort of a masterclass or opening workshop on Chess24 a couple months ago when my previous Chessable course got released. But this time it's, well, this is the first time ever we are hosting a Banter Blitz. So let's play some games and let's hopefully get some openings in that I've already recommended and discussed. Alrighty, so we have the challenges here. I believe the first challenge I've received was from Banter Blitzer. Sounds, based on the names, that, well, I'll have to win, but I also consider myself a bit of a patzer, so let's see what happens. Here we go. All right, so I'm recommending e4, so I feel obliged to go one e4. I think that would be the right thing to do. The opponent's thinking, I hope he will be. I hope he is around. Now I'm actually not that sure if he is. All right, so I guess what's gonna happen is that if he doesn't show up in like 10 seconds or something, I'll have to abort this game. So if you are around, please make a move. If not, we'll have to abort. All right, 3. Okay, it's the game's on. I assume bishop b7 is about to follow, but I'm careful to pre-move. All right, this looks like a bit of a mockery, to be honest, but it would be actually quite funny if I lose this one. Well, let's see what he's up to. Now, I expect some funky move, like, I don't know, whatever it is, rook h7 based on how my opponent started. All right, h4. Well, now I think he's supposed to go h3 and sacrifice an exchange. So I assume he wants me to develop my knights, and he's gonna play pawn to h3. And if I don't, what could he have up his sleeve? Maybe some bishop b4 or some f5? I think this might be somewhat lame, to be honest, but I'll play h3. I don't want to deal with the pawn, to be honest, and I just want to pick it. I just want to go knight f3 or queen to g4, and I would just like to get this pawn if possible. So knight f3 it is. The position is definitely not very standard, and it's definitely not a position that I have ever made the Chessable course on, or any other type of analysis. But let's see. To me, it looks like the pawn on h4 is supposed to be more or less dead. Even so, maybe he's gonna play some f6, bishop h4, g5, and try to have a little bit of fun. All right, I'll play d5 because this way, the bishop on b7 will definitely never feel good. So yeah, such positions actually, they can be quite interesting, I think, if black just plays them with like 2 or 3 extra tempi. For example, after d4, it's actually very interesting to try to move e6, and after c4, b6, and that's, I think, quite a legitimate opening. But perhaps the way my opponent played here, it's a little over the top if I just plays carefully. So now I'm a pawn up. It looks to me like I should be in full control, and here I'm simply gonna castle. Black's main concern is that this bishop on b7 is not particularly great, I would say. All right, and he tries to actually activate it with b5. So he hopes I would take with the pawn, and then he would get to take on d5 and activate his pieces. I guess so I can take with the knight. This looks like free stuff to me, isn't it? Yeah, I think it is. I like free pawns. Always tell my students I prefer taking in chess rather than sacrificing, so that is a free pawn. Now the knight's about to land on d6, which I think would definitely cause, do some damage to black's position. I might as well simply try to play some bishop c2 and queen d3 and try to hit the h7 square. All right, here we go. This is a piece sacrifice. So it looks like my opponent's somewhat desperate here. I would take it. And here I probably can make like literally any possible move, like a3 should be good or knight c3 should be good. But I would like to trade some pieces down. So I'd go bishop h7 check. And then I would grab this bishop on d5. Now his rook's hanging. And I might as well play some queen h5 and check out what's the situation with his king. So okay, knight c6. I'll just improve my knight a little bit. I guess I could have already gone for something more decisive, but there's really no need to. I just try to play as simply as I can. Then the queen's about to land on h5. Maybe the knight will be transferred to f5, and then some mates around the corner. What I actually need to figure out, since it's my first banter, I need to figure out whether there is a way I can see any questions or any chats or whatever viewers might ask. So let me try to do that as well. So okay, a3. I'm opening meanwhile the live video. So yeah, I do actually see some questions. Where are you living? Well, actually, I'm from Ukraine originally, but right now I'm living and studying in the United States, in St. Louis, more specifically, Missouri. Okay, can we try to somehow play some rook e1 or some b4? So what are we gonna do? All right, I actually need to hurry up a little bit. It would be quite funny if I were to lose with an extra piece. Now after king g8, I'll play knight f5, and then I'll try to go some queen g6. Hopefully there will be mate, but if not, I don't really mind playing an endgame, a piece up or something like that either. So let's see what the opponent's up to. I guess he might try queen f7. That's what he has to do, and I can trade. Definitely this would win, but I'll just play queen g4. I think threatening some stuff like knight h6. Let's see. He's running quite short on time, actually, I would say. All right, queen g4. Now the knight's coming to h6. I guess the opponent has to play something like king h8 or king h7. All right, this was, I think, a little unfortunate. Now black's losing. Okay, so I think the main problem with this game was that the opponent really did not play that well. In the openings, it's h5 and h4 and move 2 was definitely a little over the top, but all right. I guess it's always possible to experiment quite a bit in blitz chess. All right, so I have actually a challenge from someone I know quite well. Let's see what's up. So I'm actually playing my student, and I hope he would not disappoint me by not making good moves. So, and we'll now maybe have an opportunity to see the position from my course. All right, this is the Evans Gambit. I'm going to fight for the center. I'll play d4. So far, my student seems to be definitely playing it very well. And he's also following my course on e45 for black. And that's exactly what I've recommended. d6, okay, everything's fine so far. This is common theory. So basically what's happening here is that black's too scared of, my bishop on c4. And he has to return to the sacrificed pawn, because otherwise white's initiative will grow too big. And in this position, I'll play the move queen c2. And at that point, black actually has to play very, very precise. This is one of the positions I've covered in the course. And I believe that the main moves that very strong players, even like Karakin, for example, or Lazar or Bruzon have played here, are not that precise and white gets an advantage. Black can definitely equalize in this position. However, he needs to play precisely, and I believe that this is not the way to go. So here I'll simply continue with knight d2. I think actually c5 is the most popular move, and this is something Krykun did versus, I believe, Kramnik. And here we're gonna continue with pawn to f4. Now, basically what's happening in this position is that white has a very nice, powerful center. Well, black on the other hand has a somewhat better pawn structure, and black's basically hoping to, more or less trade down every single piece, because if he manages to, he'll have a very comfortable endgame. But at the same time, it's still not such an easy thing to do, and white will try to develop a lot of pressure into middle game. And I actually believe such positions are, well, if black knows what he's doing, he's like perfectly fine, but black has to be precise. And if neither side knows what they're doing, then white will definitely have an easier time here. So I definitely vouch for white if black's not very, very well prepared. All right, here I'll go bishop b2, of course. That's a very consistent follow-up. Now perhaps knight d on to f3 is on the way. Then I might as well follow with something like f5. So yeah, actually black's already taking quite a bit of time. Knight f3. Basically all of my pieces are slowly but surely crawling up the king side. So yeah, actually I'm supposed to have all the types of colors, right? Why do I have 2 games with white in a row? But that's okay. So yeah, another question: why am I studying in the United States? Well, the United States. I mean, I was actually considering really several countries to go to for my masters. All right, so first I need to figure out what I'm doing here actually before talking about masters. Okay, so I think it's the blunder. I play knight g4, e5, and since his pawn on h7 is hanging. So all right, chop, and then e5 is coming up, and then I would like to be notified how black stops bishop h7. Perhaps he just doesn't. So yeah, speaking of education, there are definitely many possible options. However, I'm really happy with the way, to be honest, the collegiate chess is growing and developing in the US. And I thought that coming here on a chess scholarship would definitely be a good opportunity, even though actually, as I said, I was considering several other options as well. My opponent's sneaky, he wants to play some knight b4. I would not let this happen by some most primitive means possible. And actually, as I know, well, I have multiple friends who moved here to the US from Ukraine over the years, during the last 5-6 years, as I was doing my bachelor's back in Ukraine. And I thought, well, it would make perfect sense if I did as well. So yeah, and actually also I've changed my major quite drastically. My bachelor's was in translation languages. I was studying French and English, and master's is in finance. But I definitely felt like it was the right choice. I was very interested back when I was applying, and I still am. Which soccer team do you support? Okay, this is interesting. Apparently not a question from an American. Americans are not as into soccer. Actually, okay, wait. First, what do we do here? Okay, I can play bishop h7, king h8, start winning some material with knight g6 if I want to. Let's do just that actually. So yes, for soccer teams, well, I guess it would be very okay. Wait, queen g6, king e6. No, that cannot be doable. And also black's losing a bishop. So yes, for soccer teams, well, I cannot say actually I'm that big on soccer. However, and I would have loved to support, obviously, some Ukrainian team if they were strong. Unfortunately, our soccer has been on rapid decline during the last years, I would say, since Soviet Union disassembled. I would definitely say that, for example, team from Kiev, which used to be actually very strong, definitely lost quite a lot of its power and reputation. So, all right, challenges. So yeah, we will need to talk more about the seventh line specifically. All right, let us go for Blunder Panda. Yeah, Onishuk is in the States as well. And actually, yeah, he's Ukrainian too. He also moved from Ukraine. All right, I keep playing 1e4. And here I'm, of course, supposed to play what I'm recommending in my courses, right? they say you have to teach what you preach, or preach what you teach, or whatever it is. Well, whatever it is, I'm doing just that. Okay, so here we actually got a very good version of Rosalima already, because basically what I would like to do in Rosalima is to have my pawn on f4 anyway, but there's a knight on f3 really stopping this from happening. So when such a position, when such a move order happens, I basically get the move f4 in very, very easily and for free, which is really fantastic. Now I'm just gonna try to play some quick f5 and play some sort of coffee house chess. Okay, so after e6, I guess this is just really backed for. And I would be very curious how black would plan on defending. And I mean, I would be honest, I would be, and I mean, it doesn't even require any specific honesty. Like, obviously, after 2f4, black can have a decent position, equalize, have no problems. But I think he needs to be quite well prepared. He needs to know a thing or two. And apparently many players don't. So, yeah, Dynamo Kiev would have, I mean, it was a very good team, actually, but yeah, I would say it's on a decline. So yeah, and speaking of this line, it's definitely not the position black wants to be getting in the opening, because here after bishop c4, I apologize, but well, all the squares around the king black is just too poorly developed. This is, I can mess it up for sure. I'm quite known for that, but unless I do, black's position does not really appeal to me all that much. Some queen e2, queen e1, or rook e1 should be very, very powerful, right? To be honest, I'm very tempted to look for more, even though I guess I'm not really supposed to. I'm supposed to play this more practically. So let's just play some move like queen e2, for instance, and see what's up. And then next I'll just develop something. What am I even going to develop, actually? His opponent b2 is hanging. I need to take some care. All right, king f8. Well, this certainly requires, I think, quite aggressive handling by white. So what if I play, for example, something like, let's say, a4, and try to go just a5, try to get my rook out via a3 to b3 or something like that. All right, so here I'll play something like a5 maybe. I mean, I can just play bishop b3, really. I'm just showing off. If I were to just play a normal game, I would play like way faster and way easier. But here I'm just looking to come up with something neat. So yeah, why the hell am I doing this actually? All right, let's play a5. So yeah, if you have questions in the chat, I would be happy to loosen time and answer them all. So black's thinking. So obviously what black should do is try to somehow get the queen traded. But at the same time, I don't think it would be this easy. I'll play, man, is my pawn on f5 hanging right now for real? I should have probably taken some care, right? I guess it's not really a big deal, but somehow I forgot after d5 this pawn. This is not a good thing. Yeah, no, this is definitely not a good thing. I should be more careful when I play this. All right, I can sacrifice a piece like dc4, gf7, but I'm not doing this. I'll just make a sane move. Finally, it's already time to be a little more responsible for this game. All right, bishop g5 it is. Now I'll just play knight d2. I'll try to double or triple up on the e file, on the d file, on the f file. Okay, so now does black want to move his knight? What does black want? Black wants to go rook e8, right? And I'm supposed to, I guess, make a normal move. And yeah, I'll actually do just that. Actually, I should probably already just stop talking and start playing a little faster, quite a long time. Okay, queen f3. I'm actually not as happy with my position anymore. Black somehow, it seems he had coordinated his pieces, and I definitely should have played it very differently. But all right, I guess I'm still getting used to talking. My favorite win over the board? Well, to be honest, it's really a difficult question. I mean, hopefully, any player who's played for years has like more than one good game. And if it's not the case, then, well, it's quite a sad situation. So wait, queen f2, does he want to play some rook e2? All right, let's just let him do whatever he likes here. So yeah, hopefully there was more than one good game. But generally, I would think probably of favorite wins as of something either, very, very spectacular, or of something that is extremely important from the tournament perspective. So here, I guess I'm allowing for some stuff like knight e4, and here it's already going to be more about like dirty flagging rather than chess. Yes, that's exactly what happened, and what's very unfortunate. All right, so what's up here? Queen ace. Yeah, I mean, all right, I'll just play it very, very fast and very cheekily. Now he's gonna take on d2, and I'm gonna take back, and then I'm gonna give a check. He's supposed to take, right? How does he stop the check? Okay, so he didn't. So fine. Now I think I'm in a good shape. Okay, bishop g7. I just need to play faster. Oh yeah, I just need to play way faster. Okay. Yeah. Well, this was not a very clean game. The opponent actually definitely defended quite well, and I should have either, thought out how to convert more carefully at like one specific point, or just talked less overall. So yeah, before I accept the favorite win, well, I would say I would recall. I have actually a very, very beautiful game which I've posted somewhere. I think it's posted on my chess.com profile. I might post it on my YouTube soon as well. I thought it was very beautiful, but also I think that just beating several strong international grandmaster level players, while playing chess, which is just very good, very solid, would be something I would think of fondly. But actually, I think the game does not necessarily have to be a win, for it to be favorite. It could as well be a draw, or I mean, okay, if I said a loss, it would probably sound weird. So I mean, yeah, it doesn't have to be a win. It just has to be, I think, a very well played game with a lot of depth, a lot of ideas. Yeah, I'm from Kiev. Speaking of Ukraine, the capital. All right. I guess I'm again supposed to practice what I preach. Knight c3. So I preach that knight c3 is just a very bad move. I know there has been Jabava playing it. Oh boy. I'm not going to remember this. Queen a5, b4. Oh no. Why are you doing this to me? All right. Check. All right. Okay, that I already don't know. But what happens if I just go b6? Wait, am I going to lose something to some... Like what will happen? If it's some opening trap, this would be ingenious. All right. Can I simply play, for example, e6 here? Check, bishop d7, right? Before I take bishop b8, just rook b8, bishop b5, bishop d7. Man, this one got me surprised. I don't think it happens that often that I'm so, like, unsuspecting in the opening as soon as I move. Like, what's this guy? Is this guy gonna play b4? Man, this is crazy. So queen c5, he's gonna play what? Rook c1 is not happening, right? What's he gonna do? Because this is so weird, and this might actually even make sense. Maybe actually should have handled it a little differently. Okay, let's just like, what do I do against rook c1 coming next? Huh. I guess that's how you win. Knight d6 is coming. Wait. Did it just get so bad so quickly? What the hell? All right. All right. I'll pretend as though this never happened. And I'll just pretend like I have two pieces and my opponent has one, so I should be winning. Even though, man, this was very embarrassing. To be honest, this was very embarrassing. I think I should just, I don't know, retire after this game or quit. All right, well, let's just hope for luck, for combination of luck, reputation of a titled player, and yeah, I don't know, and for our opponent getting flagged. Man, this was bad. This was so bad. 1491. Yeah, my opponent's insane. All right, I'm just developing, I guess. He still cannot castle. Yeah, 1491. This guy is... This guy's good. All right, my bishop's coming to a6, so that he cannot castle. He's still up to figure out how does he castle. I guess he can, but I'll just play very, very fast. Now I'm gonna try to check him on b4 or something. Okay, here I guess I just play something like knight d7, for instance. Castling's coming next. you know, they say all bark, no bite. Well, this is the expression just about me, because I was just saying that this Chessable London is like a horrible opening. It's like so poor positionally, and it is just so wrong. It's just so bad in all the possible kinds of ways. But I just ended up getting a terrible position against it. So I think I should just talk less and prove that I'm right a little more. But here, actually, I'm going to play knight d3 next. All right, so he's sacrificing the material back. So now I'm fine even from the material perspective. And actually, I'm very happy to play this position. I'm more than happy to play this position. Now, and it feels so good after you've been, a lot of material down for a long time. It feels so good not to be. And yeah, I actually treasure pieces quite a lot here. All right, so bishop c3. I guess I can chop quite a lot of stuff off. I can probably take this. Okay, I can probably take this too. And I can probably go a5 and see what's up. Now this pawn might actually get really strong. So yeah, I expect him to do just that. But actually I would take black here. Now that white doesn't really have any targets and I still have more pieces, right, than he does, I prefer black's position for sure. So what I'll try to do, okay, here I think we have d4, and that would be very irritating. The point being that now the pawn on f2 will be a clear target. And yeah, white somehow didn't, I think, play it out quite well. Now white's in major trouble. All right, rook f2 should be very good. Does he play queen c5? Probably not. Yeah, this did not work out too well for white. Now rook 8, a2 is coming. Okay, I can grab another one meanwhile and take on c5. Yeah, this is not very good. Okay, well, yeah, this was really bad. Man, this was very bad. I should repeat this line. I'm a little ashamed. So yeah, as people write in the chat, he could as well be some 2100 player, a very decent player. I guess he kind of got shocked after he got the winning position so easily, and then he went on to misplay it, which actually shows, it's very, very important that we are careful even after we are totally winning. But all right, I just got somewhat lucky. So make sure to let's keep the questions going, and I just keep tackling new opponents. You must lose to these bogs. All right, f4, of course. With accelerated Rossolimo, the invention of Yuriy Krykun and Chessable. So yeah, basically this opening is kind of a mix of the Grand Prix attack and the Rossolimo. So here I'll try to build up a massive center with some c3, d4 if I can. Actually haven't repeated the theory here for quite a long time, and actually the lines might get rather complicated, so it's actually desirable you have a certain idea of what you're doing. But at the same time, say this position, it's already not really working out well for black, who is clearly, facing such a strong center. It's quite inconvenient. So some d5's coming, knight d4 is coming, bishop e3. I can just develop a queen e2 or queen b3, connect my rooks, try to break into the center with some quick e5 or f5. Not too much self-advertising involved. I strongly suggest to check out my course. Now, yeah, black either has to retreat. Well, this will involve losing more time and potentially a pawn on d6 as well. So he takes to the bishop, but then I think another pawn will, as I say, Harry is the h pawn or Gary is the g pawn. Well, I'm not sure who the f pawn is, but whatever he is quite useful here. Okay, I can go. Perhaps let's just make a very natural move, rook e1. Well, thanks. I also hope I become an IM after COVID. I will actually play an over-the-board tournament in about 2 weeks. Actually, precisely 2 weeks from now. So there will be a chance. If I play well enough, I will, definitely. Even though, well, you never know how it will turn out. But yeah, I'll do my best. Okay, so do I go bishop f4? Or do I go bishop g5? I might as well try some actually e5, which looks very direct. If I, for example, go e5, he takes, I take with the rook, king f8. This looks very, very bad. Even though, yeah, maybe I actually don't necessarily want to like destroy all this spatial advantage of mine. So queen d4 is aimed at stopping queen b6 check. And then I'm going to play bishop g5 next. And then I'll try some knight d5 next. And I actually also want to see what's up with the bishop. The bishop is very close to getting trapped. If I play b3 on the next move, the bishop might as well not just have a square. And that would be it. That would be really, really bad. So the opponent plays b5. Like, what does this guy do after I go b3, actually? He has some tricks up his sleeve, like knight h5. But then, what if I just go queen d2, for example? I think this curiosity might land me in a lot of trouble eventually in my life, but yeah, I want to check it out. My FIDE rating now is about 2370 something, I think 75. I'm not actually sure precisely. So basically it means if I get one good tournament in, should be hopefully enough for the IM title, but you still got to play, 9 good rounds. Yeah, so now actually this is quite resourceful. Actually, yeah, see what I'm saying. I mean I might not get that norm, like not just in this tournament, but ever, based on how much stuff I'm blundering in this current shape of mine. This is just horrible, to be frank with you, because after bishop b2, I mean, I'm just like losing stuff here. All right, what are we doing as a response to this? So I might as well just drop material and like feel quite terrible. All right, let's sacrifice a piece and see what happens. And I'm again down on time. Well, so far I've been lucky. I've managed to win all games, so hopefully I'll get some luck in this one as well. But generally, yeah, you're not getting away with such poor play. And my opponent could have won a piece with bc3. But all right, thank you. Thank you for being so generous. Now, if he takes on b2, I take back. The rook's hanging. So he has to play a b5. But then I think black will also land in some pretty major amount of trouble. So, all right, what do I do here? I have some ideas like g4, which actually it looks to me like g4 is winning stuff. Is it? Again, we're just playing Blitz, so let's have a little bit of fun. I think, unless I'm missing something, it does. So, yeah, basically, if knight f6, I just go g5, knight h5, f6, and that position seems horrendous. So if he takes on b2, all right, that's what he does. g5, no time to talk. Now f6, and that's what I wanted. Now I'm not winning anything directly, but I have a very serious question. Like, how does black plan on surviving this? Next up, you go bishop f8 as black, and then e5, and all right, well, that is a piece after all. All right. Do I go queen d4 and offer a trade? I think that's what I do. Okay, I mean, I can really do anything. I'll just pick pawns. But again, I am very, very slow. My next goal will be to win a game while still having more than a minute on my clock. If I do just that, I would consider this Banter Blitz a success. If not, I would say, well, gotta train more. So, okay, rook g1's coming. I guess black as well might get into some trouble with his king. But yeah, at this point, it's already pretty easy. Okay, I'll just play. Wait, this was supposed to be. Okay, just rook g1, not letting any uncertainties happen. Okay, now we're playing another one. Okay, let's go in with evidence. So, okay, I'm black. Let's see what's up. c4. Okay, I'll try to preach again. I'll try to, practice what I preach. The opponent's taking time. Generally speaking, it's not a good idea to be taking time in this early stage of the game. But okay, knight f3. I'll play. This is actually a weird combination of moves. Typically, they go knight f3 and bishop f4. Okay, let's suppose this is some sort of a weird Nimzo line. Yeah, I'm not sure if the bishop belongs here on f4. It should rather go on g5 typically, or white just plays e3 and then tries to use it somehow differently. Like it might eventually go to, okay. So let's go a5. My opponent will play a3, I suppose. And here I'll capture this knight, as I'll play castling. Yeah, so the thing with the bishop here is that, first of all, if in the event of some d5, c5, knight d5, it might get hit a little bit. And secondly, all right, let's play, for example, d6 and then knight d7. And then, say, just queen e7. Yeah, I like such positions. They're very flexible. And actually, often it appears as though white actually has a grip, and many people might like white's positions here. And I mean, white definitely has, pretty interesting chances. However, I think the positions are very rich, and actually black also can boast of quite a considerable amount of counterplay. So I think I'll play a4 here in the first place, trying to stop any attempts to grab space with the move b4. A little bit of tricky maneuvering involved. I cannot really say I've been like outplaying my opponent yet or anything, actually. Okay, I'll try to play e5, for example, and see what's up. Now, after d5, I'll go. I mean, I can just take back. I also have some ideas like knight g4, hitting that queen and hitting that pawn as well. Okay, now time to think. So do I want to like show off or do something which I don't really have to do or not? I think, yes, I think I do. I'll go knight to g4. Please note that with the king on g1, it would have been a very bad move because white could take on d6 and then on e7. But here after e6, knight e3, actually he's going to hang his queen with a check, which is very important. And which is why I'm capable of recapturing on e5 back with the knight on f6. Queen f3 it is. All right. Is white going to hit me with some stuff like queen b7? I hope not. All right. Some trades have happened. Yeah, white maintains a very decent position so far. The knight on d2 looks a little funky. So does I believe the pawn on c4, which is kind of a little bit, a little odd. Okay, I'll play some move like rook e8, just trying to improve the position slightly in the first place. Now, yeah, white's trying some, type of harassment on the king side and in the center. So here I'm wondering what I can try to do. So, all right, white's gonna play e4 no matter what. And now I need to prepare to face that, right? So how about I play, for instance, knight to g4. White continues, I assume, with the move pawn to e4. What's he gonna do otherwise? Otherwise, it might actually get quite unpleasant. Yeah, I'm actually quite interested in what white's gonna do here, so sorry for a bit of silence. And there's quite a long pause. I hope it's not my internet that is down. Can you actually hear me? Is my internet okay? Because either my opponent's internet is down or mine, whatever it is. Well, this was a blunder, unfortunately. Now I'm just getting his rook. Yeah, this was not good. He should have played d4 and the position would have stayed complex. Now, I guess all I need is just to trade some pieces down, and we'll do just that. First off, actually, I'll try to see what's up with the king side. If you allow me to play some queen h3, I actually think it might get a little ugly. And then maybe h5, h4, and check white out over here. Okay. Queen g4, h4. This is a little tricky, I think, for white. h3 check. Do I need this, or do I just need to collect all the stuff I've been given? Okay. Okay. Yeah, white for some reason took quite a lot of time towards the end. That was definitely, he should have played faster. I mean, whenever you are, all right, I'm going to accept another challenge. So e4 it is. Now I predict Alekhine or the French defense. See, so people told me I possess a crystal ball. And now based on this position, I will predict my opponent will go knight d5. And then I'll play the rare move bishop c4. I'll predict he'll play knight b6 most likely. And then I'll play bishop b3. Yeah, see? Thanks for the game. Thanks for the game, Evidence. Thanks for the game, everyone. And I'm not sure how much shameless advertising I'm allowed to go for here. It's not really about that. It's just that I really think that the product's very, very good quality, but I would strongly recommend you check out my recent course in the Dynamic Italian. I think it is top-notch quality both for beginner players and actually even for very strong grandmasters. In fact, what's funny is that once it got published, I saw that the first people to buy it were actually grandmasters over 2600. I've seen a couple names in the list of players. I mean, with handles at least, which correspond to the actual names of players over 2300 or 2600. So actually, this is quite an interesting observation. So I would strongly suggest you check it out. And meanwhile, we just keep pursuing some stuff. So let me just develop, for example, with a move bishop e3. Black's position would have been fine in all regard, just a little restrained. Like now, if he goes bishop d7, I will play bishop b6, and I'll win that. I'll win that bishop. So yeah, here he goes knight a5, and really, I don't even mind parting with this bishop all that much. I'll play something like knight b5 now. I think it would have been perfectly okay to also go like knight e4 or some move like this. But here, Black has a lot of problems. Bishop b6 is hanging, and knight c7 and knight a7. And I can perhaps already win at least a pawn. So yeah, this suddenly became a little uncomfortable. Well, here, I think I can play... Actually, I need to be a little careful. I'll play c4, I think. The point being that after taking, I think I'm supposed to be getting something quite fast. Actually, I might have missed that he has bishop c5. The point being that if now king f2, bishop b6, and if knight c7, then bishop e3. But I'm still gonna do this. And after bishop e3, I'll play king f1. And after rook b8, he'll have this, nasty hole on d6 that my knight will try to occupy. And actually, his bishop might get in some sort of a weird shenanigans as well. Actually, I cannot really say I'm that happy with the way I've been playing these games. All right, let's go knight b5 here. So we've got to discuss something else besides the specific chess position. Yeah, I don't even like discussing chess positions that much. Okay, just this is already an exaggeration. Of course, I love chess, but it's also interesting to talk about other stuff. So if you guys have any questions, anything you would like to ask, make sure to do so. I would be happy to answer. The only thing is that I think if I draw any arrows, like, after the game or something, you are not really getting to see them, which is a bit of a bummer. So my opponent actually has been playing very well. I really like the way the game has been going for him. He has now been tackling my queenside pawns. He wants to take on c4, hit all the pawns. So play, I think, a move like, am I gonna do this? Yes, I will. I'll play a move like rook d3 to hit his bishop and see where it goes. I think also bishop moves might have certain drawbacks. Like you pull it on a7, and you might hang it to the rook on. Okay, if you go here, then I can take on c8 and then take. Does that work? Wait, here. Oh shoot, there's bishop f8 at the end. I thought he was missing some neat mate. Apparently he is not. But okay, that's all right. The game's going on. So okay, what do I do here? I think I will take, and then I will play rook to c1. Well, he can also take on d6 for sure. Then I'll be picking definitely between several recaptures. Well, never playing chess again or never reading a book, like any book. Yeah, well, I mean, I love chess for sure, but I'd rather prefer to read books, to be honest, because, I mean, there are so many interesting things in the world. There is so much knowledge that, yeah, I mean, I would be very sorry to part with the game of chess. But I would do that because, well, life is long, life's interesting, and there are so many things to be studied or discussed or discovered is that, yeah, I think books are obviously a wealth of knowledge. I'd pick the books. Even though, I think a good kind of addition to this question is whether I'm allowed to teach chess. Because if I can teach, then I would definitely pick books. Like, it's not like well, it's not like it's a question anyway, but if I can teach as well, then, the fact that I pick books would increase by like a, 1,000 times. But yeah, because nowadays I teach so much and I play so little. So yeah, like the last, tournament game I've played was nearly a year ago, and really I would not be that affected. So yeah, if I was allowed to like teach and record courses and analyze, but just not play in whatever it is, Blitz, Bullet, yeah, I would actually perhaps not even notice it all that much at this point. Favorite, yeah, this was a very bad game actually. I definitely should have somehow handled it better, but kudos to Black for playing so well. Okay, now let's accept some more challenges. Accept. Favorite chess player from history. Well, really, this I think is such a, it's possible to answer this question in like literally several dozen ways. So I feel like it's a little difficult. I guess it's not, I guess some things that people are expecting, and I guess something people may not really want to hear is some like very obvious answers, such as, for example, Kasparov or Fischer or whatever it is, or I don't know, Alekhine. So I would actually say some things that people may be expecting a little less. And I would say that I've learned a ton from the Swedish grandmaster and Swedish former, actually he was one of the best players in the world, Ulf Andersson. My coach wrote actually a book about Ulf Andersson, which I've enjoyed greatly when I was rated, say, 2000, 2100. And I think my chess, do I play 5 here, by the way? Okay, so I think my chess actually benefited greatly from the fact that I've studied games of this player. And there are several other amazing sources on him. For example, there's a book by Jorman Fidemaster. Not to be honest, I would not recall the name, but it's very, very good as well. And I recommend it to several students who are quite advanced, and especially who don't like the endgame. After this book, I'm sure they do. So I would say Ulf Andersson is definitely a huge example. But if you are expecting some, more kind of normal answer, then obviously I have nothing wrong with, there's nothing wrong with such an answer as, for example, I don't know, Fischer or whatever it is. But yeah, there's just, I mean, we have, there are so many epochs, and there are so many amazing players. So it's really a little difficult to pick any specific one, and I don't even think it's necessary. All right, here I'll take advantage of the fact the queen cannot really move, so he'll have to take with the pawn. And here I castle. Please note, once again, somehow with some magic, I've obtained a totally winning position in this 2f4 Sicilians accelerated Rossolim after like 10 moves. So I definitely feel like it's been, a good course advertising. Okay, now will we have more questions? This is my question. Okay, do I play f5 here? That's another question. Tough choices. Okay, f5. Yeah, so also, by the way, if you don't mind, I will continue with a bit more of self-advertising. I would say I am about to start posting quite frequently on my YouTube channel. So I would like all of you to subscribe. You can find it as just my name, last name, Yuriy Krykun. And also I plan on streaming on Twitch, perhaps in about 3 weeks when I'm back from my tournament. So it would be great to have all of you there. So if you're looking to see some content by myself, make sure to follow, subscribe, so recommend to your friends. But now I'm back to the game. I feel like, yeah, well, that's exactly what I expected. I definitely think that people were not looking for the most kind of boring type of answer. Like all the answers they always hear, like Carlsen or I don't know, Anand, Kramnik. I mean, those are all like, don't get me wrong, those are all fantastic players, and I've learned so much from every one of them. However, I guess it's a little boring to be giving the same answer every time, so I just decided to go with something slightly different for the time being. So actually here I might need to be a little careful because he might go some rook e5 and actually hit my bishop quite hard, which is not something I'm interested in. I'm still allowing for that, actually, but, well, the good news is that at least I'm aware. So if rook e5, queen f3, rook g5, cd4, I think I'm getting... Well, actually, well, now we'll see what I'm getting. Actually, I am quite silly because I just have a check. This was very stupid of me. But yeah, thankfully I also have a check. But queen f3 would have done the job as well, but check is even better. Now we just pick this rook. Actually, I can also play queen f3, by the way, because he is literally just trapped. He has no moves. Do I do this? No, I don't do this. There's some... Yeah, okay, now some d4. Yeah, this is not working out for black as he would have hoped it would. Okay. Yeah, that looks like a free exchange to me. And it looks to me like I'm doing decent on the clock as well. Let me enjoy a sip of water. Is free will an illusion? Well, here we're getting a little philosophical. Actually, in Russian, we have some saying about this. Even so, probably this doesn't picture the Russian nation from the best angle, but we say the question so difficult you cannot deal with it without some booze. But okay, probably that's not the best way to answer, especially if you're trying to pretend like you're an intellectual chess player. But speaking of which, I mean, whether some things are determined or not, I think, well, I don't see them as determined, and yeah, I mean, maybe it's to some degree, you know, optimism of the youth, to some degree some other things, but I just try to do the best I can. And it feels like if I do the best I can and if I put as much effort as possible, then things do get better and things do go right. So to be honest, I don't really spend too much time, or I would say actually I don't spend literally like any time hesitating on whether something is, you know, when something's outside of your control, well, okay, why worry about this? But if something can be controlled, make sure you just put your best effort in, and if you do, you'll be just fine, supposedly. Okay, so actually that's a slightly weird way to play, because there's a move f3 on move 4, and then you go d5, and there's a move queen c2, and then you go d5. But this guy's kind of mixing them both, so I think I'll just play e6 here. Actually, I believe who is the greatest author of all time? Actually, to be honest, I think this is a good one to talk about, and I would not even be answering this directly, as I just wanted to say it's a very interesting thing, because actually, to be honest, my perception of like, wait, guys, this was not right. This is a bishop. So actually, my perception, to be honest, of like chess coaching has changed so much during the last 4 or 5 years, because previously, basically, what I was thinking when I was, you know, a promising junior player myself, I was thinking, all right, so a good coach got to be a coach who has a lot of strong students. If you don't have strong students, most likely you are not particularly impressive as a coach, or most likely you're just poor as a coach. But actually, what I've realized when I started teaching is that, and I mean, obviously I knew it, but somehow I didn't think about it as much. I was just, you know, always around titled players. But basically, you know, it's important to understand that chess is, you know, just as anything, is the sort of a pinnacle. And obviously we have way more players rated, let's say 1000, 1000 or 800 or whatever it is, then we have titled players or 1500 or 1800. So actually, I now have so much respect for players who are not, maybe, you know, who haven't helped anyone become world champions or grandmasters. Wait, am I gonna? No. Yeah, but for players who actually introduce a lot of beginners and amateurs to the game. So for example, say right now I have about, I would say, 25 private students, and most of them obviously are people who don't play chess professionally, but they just enjoy chess. They enjoy chess casually. They have full-time jobs. They don't have the time to fully commit to chess, but they do have some. And I think that helping these people enjoy the game and improve to the best of their ability is actually none less, and I would say even more important than, you know, helping some international master become a grandmaster. So as a player myself, I would answer the greatest author of all time would be probably someone like Dvoretsky, for example. right? Because that is something I'm most interested in. But if I look at it as a chess, author myself or content creator, just person who loves chess and who wants to share passion for chess, then I would actually struggle to answer. But I would say it's anyone who introduced a lot of people to chess, probably someone who wrote such books as like, I don't know, How to Beat Your Friend or How to Chess for Beginners, Elementary Chess, whatever it is. Basically, the simplest things. These, I believe, are, if these books attracted dozens of and hundreds and thousands of people to the game and made them love the game, then for sure these are the greatest authors. Even though definitely title players would disagree. Yeah, well, Magnus is trash. Well, you've just somehow been a little too generous. You've gifted me somewhat too many pieces. But yeah, other than that, I've enjoyed the game too. And I enjoy games where I can talk more. So I mean, in a way, from selfish perspective, I want my opponents to play worse because then I can talk more. I am not getting as flagged, and I can talk more. Okay, so again, I keep propagating whatever I recommend in my courses. So Queen of 6 is another move. So yeah, if we keep the questions going, that would be amazing. D4, all right, I'll take it. So basically the point of the move Queen F6 is that, say, in this position, we actually could have gotten the same position where black would be a tempo up, but white's king would still be on E1. I mean, that's why black would be a tempo up. However, in fact, it's best to even give up a whole tempo, but to force the white king to go to the king side, because it should be on the queen side. Because white's about to start rolling his king side pawns, and he doesn't need his king there. So that's why the king typically castles long. And the king typically castles long to control the square on d1 to help white fight for the d file. So the king on g1 really is not the right, it's not the right spot for the king to be at. So this variation, in my opinion, is very, very promising for black, and I like this position a lot. The move a4 also feels, to be honest, somewhat kind of out of place. All right, we'll go 97 here. What's happening now? Okay, white's, I think, white's taking a little too many responsibilities on a flank where he's not supposed to be doing so. White has an extra kingside pawns, so he should be advancing on the king side. Well, queen side is more of my territory, so I think what white is doing is kind of wrong, but I still gotta prove it. Okay, so now the plan is to go bishop e5, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do. My opponent had an interesting move, bishop d4, which I'm actually not sure if it was that good, but at least it was quite principled. Okay, and here my bishops seem to be doing quite all right, aren't they? So rook d3. Then I'll play rook h to d8, and then I'm attacking the pawn. I'll attack the knight. I'm in love with my position. That's for sure. Okay, c4. So I have bishop c3 here, and I'm gonna collect. This pawn on b4. I'm wondering if I can do something else. I think this would do just fine as well. Yeah, so I'm looking for more questions, guys, in the chat. Actually, something I'm wondering is that how many people are watching this at the same time. I believe about 40. Oh, actually, there's a ton of questions coming from YouTube as well, which I just got to see. Watching from Nepal, watching everyone. Hi, it's Eddie watching, a student of mine's watching, and actually a great guy. He's improved so much during the last half a year during this COVID. But I'm mostly focused, of course, on the chat on Chess24. Well, man, these questions are getting quite funny. You either gain $20 million or the ability to fly. Which one do you choose? Okay. Well, first, let's choose how to kick this knight out. So, well, I mean, what does it mean to fly? To fly like as a bird? to understand how fast would it be and how safe would it be. Could I potentially crash into someone? Could I fall? I assume that if he wants to go knight d4. I don't want that. Okay, b6. So I mean, if I could fly, at like, I don't know, reasonable speed. I don't even know what's the reasonable speed for flying. Maybe like I don't know, 50 kilometers an hour. Would that be fine? That could be quite attractive. But if I would fly slowly, like a human, walks or something, I'm not sure if that would be that attractive. But also, I mean, $20 million can actually fly you to places as well. But somehow I feel like I'll make 20 million. So perhaps if flying was offered under good circumstances, which I've just described, I could as well pick flying. The only thing is that I hope I would not get arrested for this, or I hope I would not get, hijacked into some secret laboratory where people would study how I do this. Like 50 miles an hour would be. Yeah, I think 50 miles an hour would be quite good. Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, I like the idea. Okay, let's just kick this knight out. So yeah, I was just gonna deliver a speech on how bishops are dominating the position, but meanwhile my opponent just flagged. All right, I would take this as well. Now we have another challenge. Okay, another good opponent. 24-13. I need to be very careful. Thank you for the game too. I've enjoyed it. It was interesting. Got to talk about some exchange Spanish. Now we are playing my accelerated Queen's Indian, a course which actually was praised by so many people. I was amazed, really. It's also possible to play d5 playing in the more of a Queen's Gambit style. It's possible to handle this position in multiple ways, but I find this one most convincing. And here we're back to the territory of some Nimzo. Actually, Kasparov had a lot of such games, back with Tiemann, I believe, and with who else did he play in this position? Actually, plenty of players. But since then, these positions are, believed to be very, very comfortable for black. All right, so here I'm going to start with the move f5, and we play the structure. Actually, I don't really have to do the second play move like d6. And that should be absolutely okay as well, even so I need to be somewhat mindful about Queen a4 potentially coming up. But okay, I will just, especially now that computers appeared, they immediately show the black's doing very, very well. Guilty pleasure opening. Well, speaking of guilty, okay, I don't think this is right because so yeah, all right. I'll just play something like, say, Queen. Is it Queen e7? He might as well want to play some. Okay, I'll just castle. Actually, I think here castling is perfectly solid. To have maybe e4 or g4, some f4 ideas. Yes, that's exactly what I'm looking to do. He plays some e5 though. Actually, maybe I've mishandled it a little bit, but all right. So what was the question? I lost the track of thought, to be honest. Do I have any other? Oh, okay. So first, guilty pleasure opening. Well, when I play bullet, I tend to often go h4, h5, h6, and then just like after knight h6, sacrifice the exchange with rook h6 and play, which I mean is definitely so terrible. Really, I mean, you should be just disqualified for doing any trash like this. But I do it once in a while. But yeah, I know actually, I mean, I know a lot of sidelines within the openings I play, which are like, for example, in the, in Ray Lopez, there are some trashy variations with some, I don't know, some quick bishop c5 or some, knight d4, which are not supposed to be good, but I still do use them every now and then. What else is there? Okay, here I guess I'm just gonna attack, and it'll be a slow grind, which I'm very happy with. Basically, the main goal when you're playing a blitz game, for me at least, especially given how much I teach and how much like positional chess I study and how little tactical problems I solve, is just not to blunder. And like if I don't blunder, I am guaranteed to do fine. But yeah, so in a position like this, the likelihood I'll blunder is kind of limited. Okay, here we will first. So I'm trying to push h5, and my opponent's clearly trying to stop it as well as he can. And then speaking of, and now, okay, so apparently I have some, pretty funky friends. So now I'm actually in in our chess office at Webster University, and actually there are several other players who are, good friends of mine. So one of them, a very strong grandmaster from Armenia, just wrote in the chat on YouTube. I'm watching from the same office. That is funny. Now, yeah, the only request I have for him is not to challenge me, because he's gonna beat me up on stream, which I don't necessarily need. Now, if I have any other courses planned in the future, yes, for sure I do. Actually, another good piece of news to share is that several books are coming out shortly. And there might be some Chessable courses transformed in books. There might be some other stuff. But there's definitely a lot of, very interesting pieces of news coming up. I trapped his queen meanwhile. So you can subscribe to me on, for example, Twitter or YouTube or everywhere, and you'll be always aware of all the news. But yeah, I would definitely say I have a lot of author projects in mind, planned for some, very, very close future. And also, I would like to say that, yeah, it would be really great if I finally got my last IM norm and IM title. Then I would definitely be able to focus on authoring more. But also, I'm very focused on teaching right now. I have several students who are fighting for titles in their nation. So I'm definitely very interested in helping them succeed. All right, I'm looking for more challenges now. Okay, where are the challenges? Please send me some. Yeah, so speaking of projects, as I said, to me now my students are a huge priority, and I really hope. I actually have a student who went up. Well, his rating is still not that high, but his strengths went up drastically, like from some 1600 to something around, I would say, 2000 FIDE right now. And I really hope, to be honest, with his work ethic, he would actually get a even title. And he made such huge progress within like 1 year. So I'm very, very interested in actually helping him achieve that. Yeah, but also, yeah, well, yeah, I mean, I also actually need to somehow pursue my graduate studies. I also need to look for possibly some job opportunities. But yeah, the author projects are always in mind. There's always something exciting coming up. And meanwhile, I've blundered my pawn on f4, but my opponent didn't pay attention. See, the thing is, you just need to pretend like everything's all right, and they're likely to believe you. Okay, here I think e5 is really something black's asking for, with the knight coming on c4, knight coming on d6, knight c4. Yeah, I think if the knight comes to d6, that would be quite painful, actually. Okay, here I'm going to go knight g5. So knight's other knight would travel via e4, and then to all the way to d6. Okay, I can just give a check and deprive him of the right to castle. That's not turning out very well, I would say. So yeah, guys, please make sure to send more challenges. What are the challenges? Please send more challenges. Whoever is watching right now, guys, I'm requesting more challenges. Okay, here bishop e3, I think, should do quite a good job. In the beginning, we had so many people challenge me, but as of right now, I guess it's already quite late in Europe too, so people might as well simply want to just crash. I'll play b4. I think there will be some problem with this pawn on c5. Okay. Yeah, things are not that easy, I would say. Things are not that easy for black here. The king on e7 definitely does not look great. I'm about to just pick Okay, this is falling and the positions. Yeah, I'm just gonna win stuff when the next move is like knight c8 or knight f5, and actually the queen has, barely has any good spots to go to either. If queen c7, I have knight b5 check. Is it okay? That was a free queen. Did he just hope I would I would pre-move and not take or something? But it's a check, I couldn't. So I guess whatever the opponent was looking for, it didn't really pay off. Okay, this is another good one. Now we will go for another game with Alekhine. I predict another Alekhine. Good game. Okay, here we have the French defense. All right, so I haven't made a course in the French defense yet, which is like not a good thing. So I have no idea how to play. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you just refuted my chess. If I don't see, you might make have an impression that the reason why I author stuff is because I know it, but actually I author it in order to learn it. Okay, pretend you didn't hear it. Of course, of course I write about things I know of, but yeah, oftentimes when you actually, when you work a lot, say on a book or on a course or on whatever presentation for your students, you actually understand that you learn a lot in the process, not maybe even as much in terms of specific, lines type of knowledge, but because it's making your knowledge a lot more structured. So actually, if I were to make something on the French, I think I would actually structure my knowledge in the French as well quite a bit, which would be very useful. Now, we have another challenge from a user with a handle French connections. So I guess we are expecting another French defense. That's fine with me. Okay, knight c3. I think he's gonna have to lose a little bit of time. And now, yeah, let's see if black can defend this. I mean, his bishop's hanging. If he retreats, I'll just win the pawn on c4. If he goes to a6, that looks very sketchy as well. Okay, this also looks very, very fishy to me, to be honest. I think what I'm gonna do, I'll just hit him once, and then I'm gonna take on c4, and then I'll just, yeah, I just literally need to threaten this pawn once more, and this should be good enough. So first I'm wondering, what if I go, let's say, knight to e5? And this move actually creates not just a threat of me taking on c4, but some other sneaky threats as well. So let's see if black can survive here. So yeah, I can definitely simply take this pawn, and I don't think it's a bad idea. I also have idea to go bishop f3, but then he still has some knight d5, and I guess I should be doing very, very well, but I'm, to be honest, just simply way too lazy to calculate. So I'll just grab the pawn first, and here I again have bishop f3, queen c4, bishop a8, which is fantastic. Let's see if I can get a little more than this. I can go knight a5. He'll move his queen, I'll play bishop f3. This is supposed to be very, very good, right? Is it? Yeah, I mean, I think it should be, but yeah, I can actually simply also, yeah, I can actually simply play bishop f3 here. That was not so clear because some queen c3, bishop d2, queen d4. I guess I might be liking some calculation ability, but it did not look very, very clear at that point. Now, if knight e3, he might want to take, right? But then I take back, and his rook is still hanging there. Several more people are joining. We have quite a decent audience here. I actually didn't realize I was doing this badly time-wise until I just looked at the clock and my opponent's out for 20 seconds. So apparently, see, I'm gonna learn until the next banter to actually play faster. Even though maybe I shouldn't, because that's what makes it exciting for you guys. I play very slowly and I'm likely to flag, and that makes it way more exciting for you. Okay, I'll snatch this rook, king h1. As far as I see, I'm not getting mated with any queen d6 or stuff. Okay, here I'll just play bishop e4. Yeah, so if he had the time for queen d6, queen h6, I'll be screwed big time. But thankfully, I still have the time to defend. And I feel like the extra rook is actually quite a significant, type of amount of odds. All right, so here we'll play e4 and e5. yeah, it is unfortunately for black just a free rook for me. I think I might accept 1 or 2 more challenges, and then we'll most likely be getting done for today. So whoever wants to play, make sure to try to challenge me. I have 2 more challenges from new people. I have some challenges from... Did I just like blunder this pawn? That was quite silly. Okay. Yes, thankfully I still have quite a large margin, safety margin. So yeah, here we're gonna go queen g2 and then king g1. Check, I assume. Actually, I can just play queen h2 as well, winning even a little more time, making him retreat. And here, for example, e5. Yes, I said, unfortunately, this is simply an extra rook. It's a little difficult to play when you have a rook down. As we say in Russian, with an extra queen, we are all grandmasters. Hopefully, I'm not that far from a grandmaster title for the extra rook to do the job as well. Okay, we'll play rook g. We'll play bishop e4. And my opponent removed, and now he is getting punished. Should I play queen h7 mate, or should I do some fun stuff with like bishop h7? Okay, let's not show off. That was, but actually, yeah. Basically, what happened is that black just had to be more careful and not play the move b5. It's very important. He had played, for example, cb3 instead and kept the pawn on b7. You cannot really overextend like this. This is a little too early. You're not ready yet. But we keep going. We'll talk about these games with several players I've played today were actually my private students. So we'll actually talk about the games with them as we meet for the lessons. All right. Again, I'm practicing whatever I preach. And here we can play several things. Queen b6 is a nice move. Bishop g7 is a nice move. d6 is a nice move. Let's play f5. Okay. To be honest, black does not need much of a concrete knowledge in this position, to my mind. He simply needs to roughly understand how the pieces are supposed to be arranged. Good game, good game. Okay, the knight will come out to f6. Okay, here I can definitely do plenty of things. What I would like to do is to consider a move like a6, possibly preparing b5. My opponent, I think, might... Exactly, he'll play the move a4, and here I'll play the move b6. And basically the point is that I'm not allowing for a5 under any circumstances which will like hurt me, but also I'm making it possible for myself to, tackle this pawn on d5. So here he goes c4, but now all of a sudden my bishop on g7 is crazy happy. It's literally gonna like die of happiness right now, because obviously now its scope has increased dramatically. So yeah, this is going, I think, just very, very comfortable. Now I'll play... I can do whatever. Actually, I need to be slightly careful about what white is doing as well. Let's all go queen d7. Keeping in touch with the f5 pawn and possibly eyeing down some pawn on a4. So here he's trying to challenge my knight. I guess I have no choice really but to trade it. And see, I'm still staying flexible when it comes to my king safety. And here I think I'll finally play the move e5. Now, he didn't take it. And here I think I will try to make the move. Actually, he might want to push some b4, which might be a little nasty. Okay, I think I will castle now. Let's see what he's up to. Okay, now I'll play the move f4. So now my bishop on g7 is sort of dead, which is obviously a huge disadvantage, right? However, I get to quickly activate my pieces in other ways, with moves like f5. And for example, black is now it's also very, very possible for me to, pursue such breaks as b5. Is it right now, actually, or shortly after? I'm choosing to do it right now. I'm actually going to maybe sacrifice that pawn on f5. I'm not really going to care enough. Because the white king actually is still in the center. It might still be a little suspicious, so I would like to actually take advantage of this if possible. But also, if white takes in b5 twice, it's likely that his pawn on d5 will become very weak. So here I feel like I'm in a position to simply trade. And here I'll go queen h5, protecting my pawn on h7. All right, any more questions? I'm happy to answer, have enough time on the clock to answer. As long as I'm not down to like, 20 seconds or something, I'm not really panicking and I feel like everything's going fine. So I definitely can keep answering questions. If you have the questions to ask, I have things to to say as answers. Okay. Well, this position is quite tricky, actually. I think I'm gonna. What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? I think I'll keep status quo for now. I'll play bishop c8. He might as well have to watch out for his king, because something like bishop h3 might actually hit him somewhat hard sometime soon. Here I'll play bishop f6. Now the ideas might include going king h8. Okay, here I'm for sure gonna play queen g6. And here queen g7. And here basically what I'm gonna try is take advantage of the open g file and play king h8 followed by say rook g8 and stuff. And now, okay, now the rook's coming to b5. This was an interesting decision. I'll play rook b4, hitting both the bishop and the pawn on b2, and possibly preparing some ideas like rook d4 to kind of, show that the pawn on d5 might as well get a fair share of attention on my part too. Okay, now I think my opponent's blundering some tactics. All right, now if he takes bishop f5, there is. A number of Banter Blitzers play a few bullet games at the end of their banter. Yeah, that's actually an interesting consideration. I think I'm gonna do just terrible, but let's give it a try. Why the hell not? Yeah, let's give it a try. If you guys want, feel free to invite me to challenge me for a bullet game as well. All right, rook b8. I'm hitting his rook as well, by the way. Things did not work out as well for white in this game. Okay, now indeed, if there's no bullet challenges, I'll go with blitz. But actually, if someone wants, they can as well consider challenging me for a bullet game. So I actually have a challenge from my friend from my team. Yeah, he's writing on Chess24's around 3100. But as I told him, I'm not actually accepting this challenge. We'll play plenty whenever the Banter Blitz is over. So someone's asking if I do chess full time. So actually, as I said, I'm pursuing my graduate degree at the moment in finance. So it's definitely, both taking some time and obviously quite a lot of effort and focus. And yeah, but I'm happy to be spending time on this as well. And as for chess, as I said, I'm obviously young. I'm 22, and I definitely want to pursue my chess as well. However, I'm actually mostly now teaching and authoring and creating content. But yeah, obviously I do plenty of, as I said, grad programs taking quite a bit of time. But also I would say that, there are just some hobbies I pursue. For example, I've been interviewed recently on a Perpetual Chess podcast, which will come out, I think, in about a week from now. And as I said, I speak 5 languages at the moment, and I'm starting to learn another one. So that, for example, could be considered a huge hobby. And obviously there are plenty of other things as well. But yeah, I think if you consider full time to be 40 hours a week, then I definitely do chess full time. But then maybe you can say I just work double full time or something on average every week. But yeah, chess is definitely a huge area where I focus. Now, the rook's coming to e8. I'm not as sure if the white bishop wants necessarily to be on e3. Okay, this is interesting. So basically I can capture the bishop and be quite comfortable. And I think I might have done other things as well, but a golden rule of Blitz is saying just, don't overthink. So I'm just trying to be practical. I think that's a good decision. And supposedly in such positions, Black's interested in keeping more pieces on the board. But I think that in this specific one, especially because it's a bishop, which is such a valuable piece, it's not a bad idea at all for me to trade. Oh, am I playing a non-premium right now? Oh, that is my bad. Sorry, unfortunately, I don't play on Chess24 as much. I mostly watch a lot of stuff on Chess24. So yeah, I actually did not pay attention to the premium icon, but yeah, I'll make sure to do it now. I'm not supposed to play non-premium players here. So yeah, I'll definitely be a little more careful. Okay, now we will just retreat. I feel like the white king is in a little bit of a funky spot. The pawn in c2 is hanging, so is maybe some ideas like bishop c3. And here I think it's the right time for me to play bishop c3. Because now if white either drops a pawn on c2 or he has to double his pawns. And he chooses the former, but yeah, this is not, I mean, this is obviously already a lost position with the extra pawn for black. Okay, here I'll play rook d8. The rook's coming to d2. Here I'll play rook d2. Okay, yeah, this is just technically lost. Kind of trying to show some focus here. Let's go b5. Kicks his knight out. So the opponent's trying like very reasonably to create, generate counterplay because he's a pawn up on the king side. However, it's a little difficult given how active both my king and my bishop are. All right, of course, we'll play b4. If knight e4, I'll just go king d5. The knight, as you can see, is totally dominated by the bishop. Now the king's about to come to f5 and cause another set of problems. a3. All right, I'll play king f5, I think. If the opponent is to undouble my pawns, this will be perfectly fine with me. So he goes f4, and now I think it's time for me to collect all the kingside stuff as well. And this is, as you can see, the danger of weakening all the light squares, which is exactly what he unfortunately for himself did. Yeah, so this pawn is getting lost as well. And again, the knight on g3, as you can see, is totally dominated, has no moves. Now I'm taking the pawn on f5 as well. So he traded, and now I'm taking the pawn on f5 as well. And here I'll play perhaps a5. And here I'll play, I want to trap this knight, actually. And I think right now it's okay. It was perfectly possible to do something else, really, but yeah, this time I decided to show off a little bit. The knight's gone. Okay, that was a good one. Now let's consider one or two bullet games, and we'll be done for today. So, okay, the first one will be this bullet game. Okay, I guess during bullets there will be less talking. It would be surprising if I can talk as much while playing bullet. All right, Scandinavian it is. Oh my gosh, just a losing opening. You cannot play losing openings. It's not serious, man. Yeah, what did I do? Did I not just take right away? Okay. Let's say it's bullet. Okay. Oh, shoot. This was silly. This was so silly, man. This was so silly. Okay. Do I go? All right. This was quite stupid, actually. Yeah, actually, now whatever I did, it was not right. Now my shoot, and I'm also very low on time, but my opponent just gifted me a queen. Okay, that was messy. That was not good. That was not good. Okay, I'll take this pawn. Suppose I misclick. Of course, I should have taken. Okay. 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 How does she stop queen d7 or queen b7? Yes, you can see my bullet skills are not that high. But still somehow I managed to do this. Even though I just blundered a pawn. Yeah, this was quite a bad game, frankly. So, alrighty, guys. I think we should be more or less ready to be getting done with today's banter. I would thank all of you for joining, for watching, for participating. It's been very fun. I hope it went well. It's been my first time here, and I totally look forward to doing this more in the future. I hope it will be regular, and I hope you'll be joining my future banters as well. Take care and make sure to check out my latest Chessable course at chessable.com, the dynamic Italian. It'll be on sale for a couple more days, so make sure to grab it, as well as check out other courses. And yeah, I'll look forward to hosting more Banter Blitzes. Thank you.